Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Namo Pranavartaya Suddhajnanaika Murtaye Nirmalaya Prasantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Nidaye Sharva Vidyanam Vishaje Bhavaroginam Gurave Sharvalokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tadochayam Utirayet. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishnam Narayanam Vande, Krishnam Vande Vrajapriyam, Krishnam Dvaipayanam Vande, Krishnam Vande Pradasutam. Janmatyasya Yadonvyadi Sardeshva Vignaswarad, Tene Brahmagrthaya Adikaviye Muhyandi Yasurayah, Tejo Vari Vrutam Yata Vinimayo Yatrakti Sargo Brusha, Dhamna Svena Sadanirastabhugam, Satyam Param Dhimaki. Nama Sangeetanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkam Samanaha Tam Namami Hari Param Sachidananda Rupaya Vishvodbhatyadi Hedave Tabatraya Vinashaya Sri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha. Yam Prabrajantam Anupetam Apedakrityam Dvaibayano Virakakatra Ajuhava Putredi Dhanmayatayatarago Abhinethu Tam Sarvabhuta Kratiyam Manimanatosmi. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. In the last session, we saw how Devrishi Narada was consoling and boosting the morale of bhakti. We start with this verse. Anya dharmanas tirkrishya purasatkriya mahossavam tadanaham hare daso lokitvam na pravartye. So anya dharma niraskritya. Here Narada is taking a vow. He took a vow to Bhakti. Oh Bhakti, I will ensure anya dharmas that are not in alignment with the Sanatana Dharma, I will remove them. I will take them away. And Bhakti becomes Mahossav. Bhakti will become the great thing. Gehe, jane, every house, every mind, I'll bring it. If I don't do it, I am not the disciple of Hari. So he made that kind of a pradignya. See, Narada, we normally say Narada means Kalahapriya. That's how I mean, unfortunately, the stories have been shown that he comes there and creates conflict, but we also know the conflicts actually solves human problem. Without Narada, Bhakti wouldn't be there in this world. Narada has written what's called a Bhakti Sutram. Narada Bhakti Sutram is with 84 sutras. Talks about Bhakti. Maybe when you have some time, we will have an opportunity to study this. But the very word Narada, Naram means Jnana. Jnana Data is Narada. One who imparts Jnanam is Narada. Naram also means Jalam, water. So, Shuddha Jalam, pure water that has gone even before the Panchikriyam. Because water is Amritam. Amritam is nothing but water. That is, in a purest form, gives life to the being. The purer the water is, more elevated the beings are. Like, in this world, if you look at it, everything lives on water, but some on salt water, majority on salt water. some are gutter water, like the mud water. But we can't tolerate. We want pure water, right? So that pure water is what Narada was. Narada was actually born in a Vrisharutau, so he's called Narada. And also he came from Brahma. Brahma came from Narayana. Narayana is on the water. So the Purana says, Padmapurana talks about Narada coming from the right exhalation, the air that is breathed out by Brahma from the right nostrils. Right is called Jnana. This is Bhogam. Left is Bhogam. So therefore he is Jnana Data. He is also the one who brought the union of Nara Narayana, bringing the Naras to Narayana. Therefore he is the one. What builds them together? Bhakti. So that's he's going to, this is what, Bhagavata Mahatmyam is what? Bhagavad Mahatmyam, Bhakti Mahatmyam, Bhagavata Mahatmyam. So we are going to be repeatedly told why Bhakti is the salvation for human beings in the Kali Yuga. But as aspirants of Vedantic study, you'll understand that with a deeper meaning, that this Bhakti that he talks about is both a sadhanam and a sadhyam. So the sadhana Bhakti has come down to this Kali Yuga as a shadow of her Swarupa. We saw that. So Bhakti is personified and suffering. So that's how we should take it. So he is now going to say in few words, when somebody is down, somebody is suffering from stress, fear, and anxiety. So what do? You have to really motivate their morale, boost their morale. So therefore here he is going to say in a few shlokas that you be that great again. Tutan vidakshaye jiva pavishyadi kaladika papinopi kamishyanti nirbhayam Krishna mantiram. Kalauho, in this Kali, jivaha, that means those jivas who are tvat anvitaha. Tvat means with you, anvitaha. Anvitaha means without moving away from you, who are very together with you. Pavishyanti, who are there with you. It means in this Kali Yuga, whoever is with you, O Bhakti, even though they are papinaha happy, even though they are sinners, what they are going to do? They will be in Krishna Mantiram Kamishyanti. Krishna Mantiram means here, Mandiram means the place of residence. In Krishna's place, that means Vaikuntham here. Even if they are sinners, they are papis, but if they are with you, that means they are with Bhakti, they will go to Vaikuntham. But how they go? Nirbhayam cha. That means they go without the fear. So what is the fear? Why is the fear of going to Vaikuntham? No, it's a fear of living, bhava bhayam. So what is the fear? This living, the fear will be, how I'm going to perform the exams, how is my life is going to be. But the fear of all these things culminate into the fear of death. So here nirbhayam means nirbhayam, marana bhayam nasti. That means he is going to the Vaikuntham when he have Viteka Mukti, but when he lives in this world with the Deham, he'll be a Jivan Mukta because he will be fearless to the thing. So now you can see, we thought Jivan Mukti comes from the Jnanam, but here Narada says, whoever is the Bhakti is. This is a Sukshma we need to understand. This is a Sukshma because Vedas don't give different truth. They give the same truth, but in different flavors. That's what it is going to be here. So, Yosham chitte vased bhakti sarvada prema rupini nate pashyanti kinasham swapne amal murtayah. Okay. Now he is going to explain. He said nirbhayam in the previous sentence. Those papis will not have any bhayam. He's going to say what the bhayam is. Yosham chitte sarvata prema rupini. Sarvat, here there's an adjective given to bhakti. Sarvata, all the time, prema rupini, who is in the form of love. Love embodied, love personified, full of affection, full of devotion. Oh bhakti, you are like that. And whoever, yosham chitte, in their mind, vaset bhakti, bhakti hi vaset. That means in whose mind bhakti is always residing. What kind of bhakti it is? Full of love. What happened to them? Te amala murtayaha. Amala murtayaha. Murtayaha means the form. Malam means blemish. Amala means pure. Amala murtayaha. They are cleansed in mind, perfect being, in a pure, in how? Swapne, even in the dream. Even the dream, they don't think bad to others. They are like this. So when you have bhakti in this world, you become a good person, not only in the transactional world, but also in the dream world, when you dream. So as a result of it, kinasham na pashyanti. So if you take it like this, kinasham na, actually the na always you add to the kriya padam, so it makes it much easier to split. Na pashyanti, not seeing it. What is it not seeing it? Kinasham. So kinasham means, kishnati is the root word. Kishnati means that which causes fear, that causes distress. So here basically we should take it as the death, Yaman, Namaha. So therefore, those with bhakti in their mind, not fear about death, Jivan Muktaha. Then he says, go on, not only they are Jivan Muktaha, they won't be touched by the evil forces. So he's stressing the point. Na preto, na pisasho, va, rakshasho va, asuro abhiva, bhakti manaskana, sparshena na prabud bhavet. Na preto, na pisasho. Okay. So what he's saying, bhakti yukti manaskana. Manaskana in the mind, bhakti yuktam. Bhakti is taken as the yuktam, means that is the mean, that is the passage of life, that is the steering force for your life. When you take bhakti as your heart, what happened? Na predaha, na pishashova. Preda means the dead body. So dead bodies are the pishasa. So pishasa are the sukshma sariras, which are got desires filled up. They haven't got the liberation to the pitirloka. They are wandering around and they're looking for some sort of ashrayam, so to depend on somebody else. So those pishasa or the rakshasa. So rakshasas are those powerful beings born with the evil tendencies. Asuraho, who are opponent of asuras. What happened with all those people? Na bhavet. They don't exist. How? Prabhu na bhavet. Prabhu here means to rule, to reign, to control, to lord yourself. Na bhavet. They cannot. How? Sparsamena. Sparsena. They can't even touch you. So that means you're not only going to the Vaikuntham after the bhakti, if you have bhakti after the death, while living you are a Jivan Mukta because you don't have a fear. That fear is not for just a Laukika thing, not even for death. And such a fearless Jivan Mukta is not touched by evil forces. You see, so he's giving everything to convince us in the Kali Yuga, take the path of bhakti. Then he says, therefore, na tabhobi, na vedescha, na jnane, na pi karmana. Harirhi satyate bhaktya pramanam tatra gopikaha. So now I had told you this, bhakti, you are such a glorious person. Therefore, in this Kali Yuga, na tapohi, not tapopi. I mean, he means not by doing penance. not just by penance or not by doing penance. Vedescha, not by using the Veda ritual or Veda jnanam. Na jnanena, not by this intellectual pursuit. Na karmana, not by the work. So he's now completely taking all the sadhanas, tapas, Veda jnana, Veda rituals, jnana vicharam, karmam, all this is, they are not. For what? Harirhi sadhyate. Harirhi sadhyate means to achieve the oneness, achieve the nearness, achieve the prapti of Harihi. Vaikuntha prapti, you can take it, or moksham, redemption. You cannot do with all those things. But evam, bhaktya tatra. Bhaktya is enough. But that one is okay, but with bhakti you can do. How Gopikas have done, how Gopikas have gone through. Now, lots of doubts will come in the mind right now. Now, we gone through Patanjali Yoga. We said yoga is important for Kaivalyam. Then we do Jnana Vicharam. We say Jnanam is important for this. Tapas we saw in quoting the Taittiriya Upanishad and Bhagavad Gita. Tapas and Dhanam. Karma Yoga, Bhagavan says, they will reach me. But here he says, nothing of this for bhakti. Now you should not take it as he's negating it. You know, you can take it two ways. In a very literal way, somebody is down, her glory is, thinks that her glory is down. So she has to get up. Once she gets up, the children can get up, the Jnana Vairagya can get up. Therefore, as a very loving father, loving brother, Narada telling Bhakti, Bhakti, you are the greatest. All this tapas jnanam, nothing can be done. Jnana Vairagya is your son. Mukti is your dasi. She comes whenever you command. So you are the one granting the Vaikuntham, the passage to Vaikuntham. How can you be? So you can take it that way. But that flattery may give us some doubts. But there is a tattvartham there. See, here we should take bhakti personified and suffering is bhakti as a sadhana. Like jnanam as a sadhana. Now, right now we are learning something, the knowledge comes to you. This jnanam is a sadhana. It is a sadhyam. When you come to the class, okay, I want to learn something. And by God's grace, if you learn a little bit today, you will think, I attained it. But tomorrow you'll come. Why? Because what you attained becomes a sadhana. I learned that one, but you knowing this, what I can learn more. So the sadhyam becomes sadhanam, sadhanam becomes sadhyam. This is the vicious circle. You know, like, you know, I want to 400 meter hurdles. You run 100 meters, pass this baton to somebody else. Next one goes like that. But here, therefore, when do we need sadhanam? We need sadhanam when we have unfulfilled sadhyam. You always do something, you always ask for something, you always look for a means because you are not perfect. You have not achieved your completeness. That's the reason why we ask for things. So therefore, whenever you acquire karma, bhakti, jnanam towards something that you don't have it, the perfection, all that is called margas, sadhanas. So the bhakti, jnanam, these words are always confusing. You know, what is jnana yoga? It is a path or is the attainment? It's a path. And you are looking for the mukti, is a path. So now coming back to bhakti. So here what we can do, think of, since we are born in this world and we are not perfect and we need a lot of things in this world, therefore we need means to achieve all those things. So we do action, you know. In this no, we are all taught by the parents and the teachers. Said, if you get up and do, if you don't do action, God is not going to give you. If you don't do work, money is not going to come. God may help you. You know, we find a way to bring God into the picture somehow. You work hard, God will come and create a good opportunity, good ambience. He gives a lot of excuses to the boy or a girl to do the work, because work is worship. So therefore, it very clearly say, if God, you can only do a sideline help and work is important, like Daksha took it, Puru Mimamsa took it. You just work. Work what Veda says, you keep on asking for it. So therefore, karma, so therefore, when they took that approach and you use karma to achieve something, and you purposely doing it to achieve something, what you're achieving is not perfect because you're still doing it. So that means, can I achieve something without doing any action? Is it not contradicting? Narada is going to say, Narada Bhakti Sutra is saying, if I'm not paraphrasing it, but he says, Bhakti is like your hotline to God, right? I need to ask for so many things to deliver things, but if you have a hotline to CEO, look, deliver to me. Things delivered. So Bhakti is a hotline. It means I don't need to do work. I don't need to have jnana. In a way, yes. How do we prove that? This world itself, if you don't do work, nobody gives you anything. Work is worship. You said that. But you can have a look at it. If I need to have my lunch, I need to have earn money, given to my wife some things to cook, and she cooks and eat. If I don't go out and work, don't make money, someday even wife will say, look, you're useless. No need of food. But imagine a child. What work the child does? Zero. He just enjoys life. And what happens to his life? Food coming there in time, bathing, dressing up. Nothing the child is asking for, nothing she tries for. Things are happening. You put a child on the road and somebody picks up the child, even as somebody who steals the child, he won't let the child cry. He knows when he cries, he needs food. Why? Because that is bhakti, that is love, that's pure. Because child is full of love, unblemished love. Why I say unblemished in child? Because it is Swarupam is love. It is unblemished because it does not think my. Okay, start thinking after 3-4 years. But I'm even talking about at the stage where it is just a bundle of consciousness. Things get done. So you can therefore deduce, we can achieve things without doing any work. God will do for me. As a Shevaka, as a Dasa. Dasa and Dasan is God. But I have to be full of love. That love should be blemishless. That means I should be without ahankara and mamakara. Thinking it is easy. Thinking it is easy. This is why the Grihasthas are slightly better than the pseudo sannyasis, because Grihasthas knows I have no way of achieving that kind of mamakara and ahankara and nivritti. Therefore, I go in a small steps. I ask for small things in life. Therefore, I work God. You won't give me anything without me working. Therefore, I do my work. But please help me get a right job, right health. Little you do, give it to me. So I do my part, you do your part. So we take a compromise. Therefore, bhakti is in a very low form, but is understandable form because we know our limits. But the aspirants, what they do, I don't need anything. Even at a young age, they travel to the woods and start praying to God. He's not doing any work for himself, not for the society. We think it's a waste of time. But he wants to find out the way that he can be full with love with God. But he could not. Because he doesn't have vairagyam. Vairagyam is not there, he is not going to be detached from the things. He doesn't have the jnanam to say that Parabrahman is full of love. Therefore, he goes and struggles in the forest, learns everything, then he is wandering. For this learning, he achieves certain things because he has done what he has done. He has done a karyam. He may not have done a physical karyam, but he has done subtle karyams. See, God is very clear in his rules. There is no ambiguity. I'll give you everything you want. You survive just purely loving me. But that purely loving is going to be difficult. Therefore, go back to the grind, do work and all that. So I go around this way. So again, then if you look at that, so okay, if I take this worldly form, like you and I, how is my bhakti different from the bhakti that Narada talks about? So we can take bhakti into three parts, three different kinds. Tamoguna bhakti. So here we are talking about bhakti where you do your karmas, you do your action, but then you also you do jnana vichara, you also pray to God so that God facilitate your life movement. And if you do that with a tamo bhakti, then you have certain aggression, certain intensity, like Hiranyakashipu's bhakti, Ravana's bhakti, Murga bhakti. Mine is my dogmatic bhakti. My God is a God. No other God is God. This is how you should do it. But you still do that in your own way. Therefore, it is still a bhakti. You're going to get benefit. You're going to be powerful. Now, how does this power comes to them? What Parabrahman has in the Purana says that its power is dissipated into all forms of life. In all beings, there's a power. You see, we know Brahma creates, Vishnu sustains and Rudra dissolves and Parabrahman take care of everything, we say. But when the lives are created, this power of creation, power of sustenance, power of dissolution is also given to each being. You and I are Brahma, you and I are Vishnu, you and I are Rudra, in our own way, because we do create our own world. Who creates your daily world, your dreams, your experiences, your deep sleep, your three different worlds you create. You create, you get up in the morning, of course, God's grace, you get up and you create a world. All this is my making, my friendship, my enemies, my job, my house, my making with my karmas. When I go to sleep, I get dream. My dreams are my experiences coming in different way, my creation. I go to deep sleep, my creation. So you have taken the ownership, especially human beings. So when you do that, therefore, what God has done is to help you achieve this. His power comes in different sukshma form. It's called Dev. Dev means light. Devas are like that. Devas are very specific form of powers to sustain this creation. But even Devas have got life and death because they have a very well-defined form. But even subtle resources, powers are called Apsaras, Gandharvas, Kinnaras, Yakshas. So Puranas basically put this Devas to be 33 crores, 33 kotis. If you go to Shaktam, they talk, for each world there are 64 koti yoginis. If you do Ardhasahasranama, if you understand deeply, it tells you about how these yoginis are there. They are in 64 crores, that is 6.4 billion. And if you take three worlds, three gunas, like Tamo Bhakti. What is Rajo Bhakti? Rajo Bhakti is what you and I do. We follow the Nitya Karma Anushthanam. We take all religions okay, but I have my own view. I want to take this path. I ask for things. I do all my karmas. I want Swargam. I want this. I want children. I want a son. My son wants to get married. I want a grandchild. All this Nishkama Bhakti. We do all that. Rajo Bhakti. Sattva Bhakti is Bhakti where the moment you say Krishna, then tears comes in your eye. You're not asking for anything. You are like when you touch, you fall off. That kind of a then kamam there is only sat kamam. It is only to go to God's feet. So, but you live in this world with all this kind of three bhaktis, but your life has to pursue and you need to achieve things. This 33 crores of devas, they also divide into three parts. 11, 11, 11. Tamo, Rajo, and Sat. Or if you take this yoginis of Shaktam, Parashaktis, Devadas, 64 crores for Tamo Shakti, 64 crores for Rajo Shakti, 64 for Satvika Shakti. And they will give you that. See, Apsara Upasana. Apsara Upasana is a very, Saktam is a very great thing. You can achieve anything you want. See, Apsaras are not, like films and stories have shown them as, dancing wars of the devas, It's not true. They are also beings. They are being of Shakti with the view to propagate goodness in these creations. To propagate creation, they have taken means. Gandharvas sing, and Apsaras dance, Kinnaras does some work, and Yaksha, each one got a division of it. But how do they create their lineage and proliferation? Therefore, they take the right bhaktas to be with. Some Apsaras born and marry rishis to create a lineage of Sat Bhaktaha. Some goes to the Rakshasas. So they give you what you want. If they don't care about Pava Punyam, because you want it, I'll give you. That's the reason why it is possible. Some people can use devil worship, and we call it the Tamo Shaktihi, and they can cause troubles to others. They're doing Papa. But there is a boundary, because when the bad things are happen, these powers that created the bad things on somebody's behalf get retaliated and then bounce back to the creator. So I will not go there. So bhakti goes these different ways. But besides all this tamo, sat, rajos, sat bhakti, there's something called a parabhakti. Parabhakti is the supreme bhakti. This is no more a sadhanam. This is no more a sadhanam. This is sadhyam. Like Prahalad Bhakti, Narada Bhakti. So here, therefore we understand, I took some time on this to explain, because Narada is not saying, therefore don't do penance, don't do Vedas, don't do karmas. He says all that you do. But you are the umbilical cord, you are the merging force. And that is clear from Gopika's life. So Gopika is the pramanam for this, because Gopikas had parabhakti. Runam janma sagastrena bhaktihi sukriti nam bhavet. Kalau bhaktihi bhaktya Krishna purastitaha. Now he is giving, okay, this kind of bhakti is coming. But you, the sat bhaktihi, upara bhaktihi, what happens is, nirunam, that is for the naranam, for this among the human beings, the narajanmam durlapam. So here is a maximum potency of evolution. Janma sagastrena skrutinam bhavet hu bhaktihi. Janma sagastrena, thousands of birth one takes. In one of these janmas, bhaktihi bhavet skrutinam bhavet. Skrutinam bhavet means very beautifully flourish, blossoms. So for us, no, don't worry if your child is not being devoted to God. Don't worry about it. It will happen one day in some janma. So therefore, if you have bhakti in your heart, it's also an assurance. It means you are in the 1 in thousands of the birth that you have taken. You have taken the precious birth in which you are getting blessings. Bhakti, you come like this. Kalau bhaktihi, kalau bhaktihi. So it takes twice. I mean, sometimes you say, what a wonderful movie. What a wonderful movie. Like that. Kalau bhaktihi, kalau bhaktihi. Bhakti. What a great this Kali Yugam is. Why? Because Krishnaha puraha siddhaha. So beautifully he said. Krishnaha, Lord Krishna, puraha means just outside you. Siddhaha. Lots of import on this. I'm not going to spend a lot of time, but very briefly. So in thousands of birth, in your mind, devotion comes on God. Therefore, if you are having an iota of bhakti, if you have a small dose of bhakti in your heart, grab that your janma is 1 in 1,000. You cannot let it pass. Why? Because that virtue that you achieved is very strange, a blessing in disguise in Kali Yuga. Because with that thread, you can get Krishna Puraha Sthitika. You can see Krishna, see Puraha outside of you, Sthitaga, standing. He will be standing in front of you. It's not just this intangible feeling that, he will be in your heart will be, all that happen always. But he will manifest in front of you. In what form, when, how, you would know it in your heart. So what an assurance it is. So God will come in many form, in any form, come in front of you. Sthitaha, not run away. He'll be there. Bhakti droha karahe te sitanti jagatraye durvasa dukkhama bannaha pura bhakta vinintaka. Okay, here he says, he's now giving a little, whenever you say good things, you must always say, if you don't do this, that kind of a thing he's saying. Bhakti droha karaha. Whoever bhakti droha karahe, whoever does droham to bhakti. What is droham to bhakti means? Insulting bhakti, insulting devotees, or being a bogus bhakti, or cheating using bhakti, or whatever you say to disrespect bhakti. Okay, what happened to them? Jagatraye sidanti. Jagatraye, in all three worlds, whether this world or Padala Loka or Pitar Loka or Yama Loka or Vaikuntha Loka, wherever you go, you get problem. But let's take it more practically, more tangibly for us. Your three logam is your three anubhavas, your Jagrata, Swapna, Sushupti. In all these three, you will have fear, grief. You cannot sleep well. Your dreams will be all nightmares. Your daily life will be a torture if you are abusing bhakti. What is a Drishtantam? Not Drishtantam. What is a Itihasam for it? Durvasa Dukkamapannaha Pura Bhakta Vinintaka. Pura, that means once upon a time. Bhakta Vinintakaha. Bhaktaha Vinintaka. So, once upon a time, because of abusing a bhakta, who? Durvasaha, the sage Durvasaha, Dukkam Apanaha. Apanaha means he acquired, achieved not, loaded with Dukkam. So I think there's a story. There's a Ikshvaku lineage. There was a king called Ambarish. Ambarish is a great king. This is in a Treta Yuga. This comes in the Upanishad. This story about like Harichandra story like that, and there is also the story like this in Ramayana. So Durvasa, what he did was once the Ambarish was a very great king, devoted to Lord Hari, and Devendran challenges him and says, "This Ambarish Bhakti, I wanted to test it." So he asked the Durvasa to go and test him. Like we take Narada as a Kalaka Priya, we think like this, and therefore have sort of a alleged negative connotation on Narada. Same thing we attach to Durvasa, the anger, Durvasa, Sabam, all the jnanis, they don't do curse. Curse is a blessing in disguise. How can they curse anybody? So always ends in a blessing. Now, when Arjuna was cursed to be a eunuch, and he becomes a blessing for him because he's able to hide. Akalya was cursed to be a stone. Why? Because she can carry Rama's feet. Can you and I get it? Valmiki did not get Rama's feet on his head. Akalya got it through a curse. The three Gandharvas got cursed and become a tree. Why? Lord Krishna to ban them. So don't worry about it. So so I'm saying this because some young children think parents have cursed me, or that teacher cursed me. Even the teacher cursed with a view to hurt you, because he's a teacher, because he's a parent. They have your thinking, your good welfare is in the mind. The curse becomes a boon, a blessing. No. Sometimes you get angry at gurus or priests or purohit if they are having, they disrespect or they say something bad. No, they cannot have bad effect. But here this story, there is a bad effect. So Durvasa comes to Ambarish and Durvasa says, I'm going to come to your house. But that was happened to be the day of Vaikuntha Ekadashi. Ekadashi Vratam Ambarish is taking. There are lots of rules for Ekadashi. Padmapurana talks about it in a very eloquent way. If you want to take a Ekadashi Vratam, of course, scientifically also now they prove, and we always want this scientific ideas, right? Ekadasham is the 11th day of this lunar cycle. Cycle means things repeat. And our body, our, Mantra Pushpa, we say, Ayatanam Deva. The Ayatanam is the house, body. This embodiment is mind and the Panchikarana, Panchaputas. The Deham and the mind are your abode. But they go through changes because all these components are, like a thermal nuclear reaction. The reaction keep on coming. So they become their best, their worst. Cycle go through. In women it is more obvious in a menstrual cycle. Men also happens. Physical form. Same in the mental form. Biorhythm. So it happens in a lunar cycle. But the lunar cycle comes in every day in a tithi. So it happens within a tithi, it happens within a minute, second. If you analyze your life, you are never sthita prajna. You never stay put. You're always oscillating. Your moods are oscillating. But the learned people have identified. So when it is oscillating like this, the oscillation has to be harmonized. A scattered oscillation is not an oscillation. It is scattering. And an oscillate means the oscillating length and the frequency is uniform, like a pendulum. That means you first have to oscillate very beautifully. But that beautiful oscillation can only be decided by the midpoint where you come. And there is a sthita, there is a kind of steady. Like a spinning top. When the top, when you put it, it goes here and there, but then it stays in one place and rotate like Lord Nataraja. The speed is so enormous, but it looks stay put. So there is a central point of any cycle, any oscillation, to decide the velocity of the vector, direction, the speed on which you move. In a physical form, therefore, the body goes through a lot of changes. There are billions of cells. So if everything changes, what the cells can do, they also go through the best and worst part. Therefore, you have to calm it down. So to calm it down, what you have to do, you have to give it, whatever it is doing, a stop, a pause. That means let mind be rest. Mind is chatted. Chitta-vritti happens. I do all this stuff, so many things I do. Stop it. Take a japam, take a parayana. Likita japam, write Sri Ram Jam, saying it in the mind, saying it loud, writing it. So, kayena vacha manas. So your mind is thinking Rama, your words are coming out of the tongue, you're writing it. Likita japam, you do. But what about my body? Take fasting. So when you do fasting, because all these cells work because they have some energy. The energy can be good energy, bad, it doesn't matter. But there is an energy, that spark. The energy comes from the food, annam, Annam is pranaha. Therefore, if you stop that annam going, don't want to be deprived of it. Of course, there is a rules for it. There's something called a nirjala vratam. Nirjala vratam means you don't even drink water. And Padmapurana goes in a elaborate way. In fact, you should take in a Dashami Sthiti, as the 10th day of the cycle, you stop eating when the sun is on the pass through the 8th of its transit path. That means you have to finish eating before, say, 4 o'clock. The sun sets at 6 o'clock. That's it. So you stop eating. Please don't take mine as a thing. You can go and find out more precise way. I'm just giving you a gist of it. I'm not giving instruction to do Yagadashi Vrata. Please mind that. So you do Dwadasi, you do that, and then the whole Ekadasi, you choose your option. Very compassionate. A young child cannot take fasting. A diseased person cannot do, or a sick person cannot do fasting. Old person cannot do fasting. Pregnant woman cannot take fasting. A lot of things there. So you have a lot of excuses there. Let's take Ambarish Pati. He said Nirjala Vratam. So you cannot take anything, even water, the whole of the Ekadasham day. And Dwadasham, before the Dwadasha Tithi, 2/3 finishes, he must complete this Vratam. And Nirjala Ekadashi Vratam has to be completed by drinking Tulasi, basil water. So you drink the basil water, then the Vratam comes to an end. Right? This is the Shraddha. So Ambarish was in that kind of a mood. The Ekadashi is finished. Dwadasham started. On the day, Durvasa comes in. Durvasa says, okay, I'm going to have dinner with you, lunch with you. I said, oh, it's a blessing. Please come. But he goes out and then, he has come to test him, right? So he deliberately delays his return back to the palace. So Ambarish he's not hungry. He can manage that. But he has got to follow the Vidita Karma that he has to finish this fasting by the Dwadasa Tithi. So he asked that priest in the palace what to do. When Aditi has come, I cannot eat food when the Aditi has come. I have to feed them first. I cannot eat the food. But am I allowed to complete this fasting? Then they say, yes, you are allowed to complete the fasting. Therefore, you take the Tulasi Tirtham. So he takes the Tulasi Tirtham. As he is gulping the Tulasi Tirtham, Durvasa enters. And he says, what? What have you done? You're not supposed to do it. It is papa. So cash discuss. So he creates a monster to kill him. So he says, what can I do? He falls to the God's feet. What do I do? What Lord Narayana said was, oh, my bhakta is being disturbed. I had to be purasthiti. I had to be standing in front of him. His bhakti is parabhakti. Narada has given a word. Whoever got a parabhakti, I should be there. Whoever does the bhakti droham, I should rectify them. So he tosses his finger, this chakram comes in and chases this monster and the Durvasa. And they were running. The monster was killed. Durvasa is being chased. Durvasa runs around. He goes to his father, Brahma. Brahma says, hey, don't come to me. I cannot do anything. Maybe go and ask Lord Shiva. No, he is a Sarvavyapi. He can do everything. So he goes to Mount Kailash and asks Lord Shiva. He says, I can't do anything. You go to Vishnu. He is the one who imposed this on you. So he goes to Lord Vishnu and prays to him. Vishnu says, I can't do anything. Chakram is gone. I cannot do anything. I am a dasa on a dasa. The only person who can solve you is Ambarish. So Durvasa comes down and prays to Ambarish, falls on his feet. Of course, he is doing all this drama. Durvasa is a great jnani. He's doing the jnanam to show the world, show to Devendra how wonderful bhakta he is. So Ambarish then, of course, makes this chakram to go away, and then, he worships him. So this story is just to illustrate, and Narada is quoting, look, that's what happened. So therefore, now having shown all this to Bhakti, that you are great, Now I'm going to say you, Bhakti, alam vritaihi, alam tirtaihi, alam yogehi, alam mahihi, alam jnanakata alaibihi, bhakti ki eva muktita. Now he concludes his glory of bhakti. You see, we don't take it as consolation statement from Narada, but as a tattvartha. He says, alam vritahi. Vritam means all these vritams, all this Ekadashi Vratam, all kind of vratam you do. Alam. Alam is a very beautiful word. Alam means enough, complete, lots of meaning. It normally comes in the third case, or sometimes it comes in a fourth case. Ramaya alam. When it comes like this, Rama equal to Rama. Then alam comes as a equal. Here it comes as enough. Vratam is enough. Tirtham is enough. Don't go to Tirtha Yatra. Enough of that. Yogam is enough. Makai he eats yajnas. Yajnams are enough. Jnanakata alabehi. Jnanakata alaba. Alaba means all this vyaparam, all this discourses, all this jnanakata, all this thing, stories telling, all this is enough. Why? Bhakti hi eva muktita. Bhakti is the one who can give you mukti. So you are not such an ordinary person. Don't keep standing, lying down, crying. Get up. So, Suta Uvacha. Now Suta is, remember the story. Suta is telling to Shaunakar about what Narada was telling to Sanat Kumara. Narada was telling Sanat Kumara what he was conversing with Bhakti. So therefore, story comes back to the main scene. Suta Uvacha, iti Narada nirnidam sa Mahatmyam nisamyata sarvanga pushti samyukta Naradam vakyam apravite. Sa means here the Bhakti. Sa iti Narada nirnitam. Iti, in this way, Narada nirnitam. Nirnitam means that has been proven by Narada. What is proven? Swa Mahatmyam. Swa means her, myself. Here Bhakti is telling, my own Mahatmya, my own glory is being told by Narada. What happened? Sarvanga pushti samyukta. Naradam vakyam apravit. Sarva anga pushti samyukta. So before that, how was Bhakti? He was thin and lean, fairy, weary. Now she's completely blossoming. She's full of smile, full of nourishment, full of energy. Why? Because she has learned about Swa Mahatmyam. This is very important. Again, you can go back to Vedanta into this. Swa Mahatmyam here, Mahatmyam here, knowing about yourself. So if you have Atma Jnanam, you get Sarva Anga Pushti Samyukta. When Radheya was told by Krishna that, hey, you are not Radheya, you are not the charioteer. You are Kaunteya. You are a Kunti's Putra. You are a prince. That Jnanam itself has gave him what? That regal posture. Sarva Anga Pushti Samyukta. Jnanameva Kavilam. That's what is proven here. So here Bhakti is now liberated from the Shoga. See, now you see the insight of it. Always saying Bhakti gives the mukti, but I'm now giving you how the Jnanam plays a subtle role here. Hearing Narada's narration about her glory, that Jnana sadhana has given her liberation from her Shokam. Yeah. So what he said, Naradam, let me see what's the time here. Vakyam abravit. So she's telling Narada. Aho Narada, danyosi, pritiste mayi nischala, nakata chinmunjami, chitte stasyami sarvata. Aho Narada. Aho here means, oh Narada, oh Narada. Now you see, visualize it now. Bhakti is now standing tall. Bhakti is now parabhakti. Bhakti is not a sadhana. It's not a chaya rupam now. Bhakti is the God. Bhakti is the love of God. It is standing now and says, Aho Narada. So before she was asking, oh Muni, now he says, calling him Narada because she is now be the blesser to the benefactor Narada. Oh Narada. Danyo asi. Danyosi means, in a second person is saying, you are Dhanyo, you are a Bhagyasali, you are a great, you are fortunate, you are a blessed. Why? Mai te pritihi nischala. You have, in you have nischala bhakti, you have unassailable devotion in me. That means you all this thing what Narada said, bhakti, if you have in your heart, bhakti say, hey, you are that person. You are that parabhakti. You have that supreme bhakti. So therefore, you are bhagyasali. Therefore, again, there's a great insight here. Na vimunchami kadachit. Na vimunchami means I will not, vimunchami means giving away. I will not leave you. Kadachit. Not even a small, I would not leave you. You have to add the twam here. Twam. I would not leave you. Sarvata. I would not leave you forever. Here, you see, when bhakti is there in your heart all the time, Krishnaha, Puraha, Tishtaha. God comes and stands in front of you. Right? So there is a given, Narada has given a promise that if you have bhakti, God will come in any form outside of you to navigate your life. But bhakti and Bhagavan are not different, right? The power of God, love of God, power of God is Shakti, love of God is Bhakti, the gist of God is Jnanam, Mukti. So here he says, I will not leave you even for a second. How I'm going to be with you? Chitte stayasyami. Chitte stasyami. That means I will be embellishing in your heart. I will be indwelling in your heart. I will be with you all the time. Outside Krishna will come and go. I will not leave you. So it's not that bhakti is different from Krishna. Krishna or the Lord, Parabrahman in the form of love, will be in your heart forever. It will come as a Saguna Brahman as and when you need it. What more you want? So now she's giving a blessing to Narada. Then what happened? Then she falls again. Now she's, that came out, but she is again in this Chaya form. Now she is praised to Narada. No, you have to understand this thing, God comes and God prays, Purana, if you see it, Vishnu is praying to Shiva. In another Purana, Shiva is praying to Vishnu. In Ganesha Purana, everybody pray to Ganesha. In Shaktam, everybody prays to Amba. Who is the hierarchy, There's no hierarchy, there's only one. But it takes different form to show this Dasa and Bhavam. It's not only one, not only one God, it's only God. That's Advaitam. Not only in gods there are differences, not differences. Even human beings, there's no differences. Beings, there are no differences. Life, there's no differences. So that's the reason why we are able to visualize this happening, that Bhakti is blessing Narada and then now praying. So what she's praying? Kripalunat Tavya Sadho Mat Bhata Tamsita Shanat Putro Yoga Cheta Nasti Tato Bodhaya. Kripaluna Tvaya Sadho. Oh Sadhu. What kind of sadhu you are? Kripaluna. You are full of kripai. You have compassion. Oh sadhu, you are compassionate. Mat Badha. Bhata means grief. Mat Badha. My grief. Dvamsita Kshanat. Shanat Dvamsita. That second, all my grief is gone. because of your karunyam. I am okay now. I am relieved. I am sarvanga pushti hai, samyukta. But I am worried because putrayoho chetana nasti. Tato bodhaya bodhaya. Putrayoho. That means these putras, my children too. Chetana nasti. Chetanam here means, Chetanam is gently, senses, intelligent, knowledge. Here it is memory, consciousness, nasti. Without any mind, the mind is completely deluded in a great slumber for my children. Tato bodhaya bodhaya. Bodhaya means wake him up. Wake him up, wake him up. Tato means tasmat karanat. Yeah. So tataha. So you, all this reason you told me, therefore, please wake up my children. So Narada says, no problem. So now Sudha, now narration comes back. I'll just take 5 more minutes to finish this. Sudha is now telling the story. Tasya vachas samakarnya karunyam narado gataga. Thyodbodhano amara Thyodbodhanam arabe krakrena vardhayan. Okay. Tasyaha vachaka samakarnaya. Tasyaha. Here the tasya means that bhakti. Bhakti is vachanam, vakyam. Samakarnaya. Samakarnaya. Very clearly listened. Having listened to Bhakti's words, Narada hai karunyam gataha. Narada attained compassion. What it means is Narada becomes very moved. He becomes completely melted in his heart. So what he did, kara agrena vimardayan yaho bodhanam arebha. Kara agrena. Agranam means the tip of it. Okay, kara agrena. The tip of his hand, tayoho means those two. Vimardayan bodhanam arebha. Vimardayan means to kindle them, to get up, to provoke them. Bodhanam arebe. Arebe means arambam, to start. He started to touch him and then making them get up. Please get up, please get up. Using his hand, he's doing it. Mukam samyojya karnam de shaptamuchcheka samucharan jnana prabhutyam shikram vairagya prabhutyam. So mukam karna and de samyojya. So then Sudha is explaining. He's giving a very visual appearance. Mukam samyojya karnate. He takes his mouth. Mukam is actually mouth in Sanskrit. Where he taking karnante samyojaka. Karnante, whose karnante is this children's. So he takes that near the ears of the children. He takes his mouth and he says, Shabdaham uchehi samucharam. Uchehi. We make it a bit louder. Get up. Samucharam. He's saying. So he touched him, like in the home, we get the children to get up. You go and say, get up, school time. He turns around one time. Then you go near the mouth and say, get up, you lazy beggar. Then what happens? Jnana prabhutyityam shikram vairagyam prabhutyityam. He's saying, jnana, prabhutyatam shikram. Get up quick. Vairagya, prabhutyatam shikram. Oh, vairagya, get up. Oh, jnana, get up. He's making them get up. But what happened to that? Nothing happened. They were not even, they're just turning around. Then he started saying, Veda Vedanta Koshecha, Gita Pate Bukur Muhu, Buddhimano Tatatena, Katanchit Chotidau Balat. See, sometimes this is where I think God comes and really shows your limit. So now, after trying all this physical thing, shouting at his thing, Now he's starting saying Veda Vedanta Kosham. He's reciting Vedas. Sometimes to wake up somebody, you increase the volume of the television. Hopefully, it's a good channel and good music there. So he's doing Veda Vedanta Kosham. And Gita Patehi, Gita Patam, he takes it. Okay, chapter 2, as if he's teaching, he started reciting them. Muhur Muhuhu, again and again, not just once, again and again. But Tata, that time, Bodhyamano, Balat Bodhyamano, if you take it like this, Balat Bodhyamano, okay, Tata, that time, Tena Balat Bodhyamano, Tena means by Narada, Balat means violently, with aggressively, in all kinds of Samadhana, all that they say. Bodhimano, to woken up. Those two, what they do, they katanchit uttida, katanchit, little bit, they woke up. They just, okay, eyes are still closed. This has got up a little bit. So, this drama tells you that when you are deluded by this Maya, with the Asha, and you are not in the Bhakti, no amount of Veda Adhyayanam, Gita Patam, all this is not going to help. It may help you a little bit as if you're getting up. Little bit of, little shock it may give you. But you cannot sustain it. Sunday class is finished, then I go back and do my gambling. If I do it, then that means it gave me a little bit of awakening from the slumber, but I go back to the slumber. So that's what it is. So he's by to bring the bhakti's prominence, he's saying what effect or what no effect this thing gives. Netraihi anavalokanto jumbanto salasau pau bhagavat phalito prayaha shushka kashtaha samankho. Okay. Netraihi anavalokanto. Sutra is still explaining. Netraihi anavalokanto. They got up, but anavalokam. Avalokam means seeing everything. Anavalokam means not seeing it. Netraihi. Netra means open or eyes half closed, but they're not seeing anything. That means they got up, but they are still not coming into the real awakening. Jubantao. Jumbadao. Dao means two. Jubam means yawning. Salasam. Alasya means laziness. Salasya means total laziness. So they are yawning, eyes are still closed, lazy. And how they are looking? Bhagavat Palitau Prayaga Shushka Kashtaga Samanko. Prayaga, typically, generally, how they are looking? Bhagavat Palito. Bhagavat here means Bhagavat means geese, goose. Palidao means it is Bhagavat Palidao means the whiteness of the goose. Like that, their heads are all completely gray hair. Shushka kashta. Their body is like, Shushka kashta means that which is completely arid wood, dry wood. The body is like a dry wood. Hair is gray, yawning, lazy people. They are like that. This is after doing the Vedanta Shravanam, Bhagavad Gita Shravanam. What to do? Shuchamau tau nirishaiva punaswava prayanau rishischinta parojata kimiteya mayedi. Sukshamau means tendered, lean by hunger, not eaten. So those two. Punaha swaba prayanau. Punaha means again. Swaba here means swapam. Swapam means sleep, deep sleep, swampam, or going to sleep. Parayana. Parayana means involved, engrossed, attracted to. Swapa parayana means attracted towards the sleep. So lean and attracted to sleep. So by looking at them, having looked at them, what are these people? Rishi here is the Narada. Chinta paraha jataka, in his mind is very deeply worried. Kim miteyam maya? Maya, kim miteyam? What can I do? So he is worried. Now he is now almost raising his hand. I just can't do. I can't help them. I just take one more and then finish it. So aho nitra kadim yadi pratatvam cha bhagattaram chintaya nadigo vintam smarayasam bhargava. Aho nitra katham yadi. So Narada is thinking, aho, alas, oh my God. Nitra katham yadi. How this sleep will yadi go? How this sleep will go? What kind of sleep it is? Bhagattaram. Very strong sleep. Vritatvam katham yadi. Bhagattaram vritatvam katham yadi. Vritatvam means this old age, this tiredness, the weariness. That's also Bhagattaram. The Bhagattaram you can add to both adjectives. The very strong tiredness of the old age. Katham yadi. How can it go? Chintikatiti. By worried about this, what happened to Narada? He Govintam Smarayamasa. He was praying to Lord Govinda. What can he do? He can only ask God. So he's praying to God. Oh, Bhargava. Here, Bhargava Bhargava means one who came out of the Bhrigu Vamsam, Bhrigu lineage. So the Bhrigu lineage is Saunaka Rishi. So here we should take that to Sutta Paunika is telling Saunaka Rishi, this is the state of Narada. Probably we'll finish it here. So what, just the gist of it, Narada was stopped by Bhakti, was given a story about her glory. So Narada explained that why Bhakti should not be worried. She is the God's love and she is Paramatma herself. So she is all engrossed and indwelling. So Bhakti becomes confident. She gets up. She, as a Parama Bhakti, she blesses Narada. Then as a Chaya Bhakti, she goes and prays to Narada. I am fine. But in this world, to help others, to show them the Parama Bhakti, I need my children. They are tired. They are down. Can you please wake them up? And Narada thought, this is easy peasy. Therefore, he started reciting Veda Kosham, Bhagavad Gita Padam again and again and again. Nothing happens. Then he realizes that I need Kripa of Guru. So even though I do all this, Guru Kripa is needed. Therefore, he thinks of his mind, his Guru, Jagat Guru is Narayana himself. Therefore, he thinks to Narayana. This is what Sudhar is telling Shaunaka. Understand? Om Ashatoma Sadgamaya.
Om Asatoma Sadgamaya.
Tamashoma Jyotirgamaya.
Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya.
Mrityoma Amritam Gamaya.
Mrityoma Amritam Gamaya.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Hari Om Tassade. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.